Now, I want to talk about a few other sports stories. I'll do the Premier League one first, and then we'll end
Please
on.
do, because I probably have nothing to add to that.
Okay.
So
yeah.
I'll be listening.
quick Premier League story. I'm a soccer fan, big time. Yes. Newcastle United. There was a story that broke earlier this week that the English Premier League, which is the top tier league, top tier soccer league in England, two of their what they call the Big Six, Manchester United and Liverpool, owners of those two teams had they had put forth a proposal called Project Big Picture, in which they wanted to do a couple of things. One is that they wanted to reduce the size of the Premier League from 20 to 18. And two is they wanted to increase their voting rights, the voting rights of the Big Six, right? So normally it's like on matters of club takeovers, like what was going to happen with Newcastle earlier this year, where this big investment group from Saudi Arabia wanted to buy Newcastle, and it ended up not passing the Premier League test because Premier League teams decided that no, they didn't want that, right? Like they didn't want another superpower team in the league, even though that's what everyone else is doing. They're like, no, we don't want this team to bring in $300 billion to the league. So that got shut down. Well, so those are decisions that are made by all the other Premier League clubs together. Manchester United and Liverpool had proposed that they grow their voting rights over the other 14. So the 6 teams in the Big Six, which would be Manchester United, Man City, Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool, have more weight in their votes than the other 14 on matters of this. And in return, they wanted to donate like 100 million to the Premier League or something like that.
So they wanted to buy votes,
basically. So those are the two things: reduce the size of the league and then increase their voting rights. Obviously, there was major backlash from the Premier League itself, because they're trying to strong arm us, especially when the owners of Liverpool and Manchester United said that they would leave the league if they don't do that. They're like, oh, word? Okay, well then screw you. The reason why this is even being talked about is because the Premier League has had a massive loss of revenue since COVID happened, right? Because they're not getting fans in there, and apparently that was a big part of their revenue stream. So,
I would think so. I mean, soccer fans are some of the most ravenous, so I can only imagine quick to spend too.
Yeah, exactly. So they've done things like in England, they have £15 pay-per-view. £15, for those who are not aware, is like the equivalent of $25. They're charging their fans £15 to watch one game. They're like, oh, Manchester United and Newcastle United is playing this Saturday, £15. Like that's ridiculous, right? Yeah. But they're trying to make back their money. So this was another thing they're suggesting. They're like, hey, we will give you this money, but you got to reduce the league to 18. And so it was just.
Who's the two teams that they would want to get rid of?
I guess whoever. I guess. I think I explained to you promotion and relegation before, where the bottom 3 drop and the top 3 come up. Yeah. That kind of thing.
Oh, so it's just less teams go up?
What would happen exactly is like 4 teams would go down and 2 teams would come up, and that's how you get to 18, right? Wow. And I was like, this is hilarious that Liverpool is backing this just after they lost 7-2 to Aston Villa, who would be one of those teams that could go down. Right? Aston Villa is like a low-level team, and they beat the champions, Liverpool, 7-2. And then Liverpool is like, yeah, get them out of here. So that was a big Premier League story, and they took it to a vote to the rest of the league, and the rest of the league overwhelmingly shut it down. They're like, this is BS.
Oh my God, how are you gonna ask me to vote to remove me?
Remove me. They overwhelmingly shut it down, especially after all the fan backlash. So
I would hope so.
Yeah. So that was the big story in the Premier League. There weren't any games this past weekend because it was the international break. Netherlands played Mexico, which the thing about that is that the coach of Netherlands is Frank de Boer, who just got
Huh.
fired by Atlanta United. The coach of
Did he get
Mexico,
fired by Atlanta United?
yeah, he got fired.
Oh, Frank de Boer. I'm sorry. I'm thinking of because you said Mexico. I'm thinking of Tata.
No. The coach of Netherlands is Frank de Boer. The coach of Mexico is Tata Martino.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and Tata won. Mexico beat Netherlands.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's still better. Anyway,
Hold on, was it firing or was it
for who? For De Boer?
No, I know it wasn't Tata. Tata left because he's
Yeah,
like,
Tata
I'm not good.
he just won the championship and then he went to go coach Mexico. Now De Boer was fired. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean
I don't know. I thought it was kind of one of those like they decided to. Well, I guess they relieved him of his duties, right?
I don't know if you can see this, but Astros win.
Okay.
Carlos Correa hit a home run, so it's now a 3-2 series for the Rays.
Oh. 3-1 comeback.
3-0 technically. They were up 3-0. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Frank de Boer was fired because so we had the first two games of the season where we won both. Joseph Martinez suffered that injury. Then we had a long break for COVID. Then they had the MLS's back tournament. And in all three games in that tournament, we lost 1-0. And
he just
fired
wasn't
him. They fired him. Yeah. You could tell that last year too. Even though we won 2 trophies technically last year.
Yeah,
he was trying.
You can't. It's like taking over the Patriots. Yeah, Bill Belichick has a lot to do with the Patriots, but at the end of the day, he's developed such a good team that some success is going to carry over. Even
there's going to be some spillover. But one thing I noticed as a fan, right? Because I pride myself as being someone that like looks at the formations and how plays are building up and stuff. You could really see where Frank de Boer was trying to implement a lot of his
identity.
Identity. Thank you. Perfect term. The other one I was going to use is philosophy. But yeah, he was trying to implement that into the team. There was a lot more trying to drop back, trying to be defensive. He was expecting Martinez to be more of a drop back type of player. That wasn't Atlanta's game. Atlanta's game was always high press, fast pace, especially when Almiron says just go. Never give the opponent a chance to think, and we just didn't do that.
That's the problem, I think, when it comes to new coach regimes. Is like you gotta go. You gotta make it with the glove that got you there. In baseball, you're not gonna all of a sudden change a baseball glove in the World Series. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you're gonna play with the glove that got you there. Otherwise, it's not a fit. It's too new, and it just you can't change the philosophies on a lot of teams.
And it's hard to think of a parallel in American sports simply because most of the leagues here are the major league, right? So there isn't a level higher than NFL. There isn't a higher level. There isn't a level higher than MLB. So if someone in the NFL wins the Super Bowl, they're not gonna go somewhere else, as a promotion from that Super Bowl. Whereas in soccer, you have all these different leagues around the world, or even better yet, you get the chance to coach a national team, right? I mean, that's the highest honor. Actually, the highest honor is coaching your national team. So if you're from, if I'm from Nigeria and I get to coach the Nigerian national team, that's the highest honor. So so there are levels that you can go, but in the NFL, if someone were to win the Super Bowl, generally they wouldn't leave. So I'm trying to think of a correlation where someone has won and then left, and then the new guy comes in and tries to say, "Hey, I know you guys won, but I'm gonna change things up." Which is what happened here. Like, hey, I know you guys won, but now here's my identity.
Yeah. I can't think of one, but it's kind of like getting no, I can't think of one, but I get what you're saying.
They just hit a home run, the Dodgers. Yeah.
Atlanta curse. Anyways, but that's interesting though, that in the soccer world. So it's like no matter where you go, no matter what sport it is, those owners just like to try to do shit to make themselves more powerful, don't they?
Yeah, it's so stupid. I can't even believe that they even thought it was a good idea.